Hey, neighborinos, how you all doing this fine October day? I don't know about you, but yeah, it's a good day here. So, as we kick it off, thanks for joining me, or watching this on the rewatch if you are. I figured you might want to see what last week's build ended up looking like. I've got it just over here, and hang on, I'll put this aside. Gotta try moving the webcam. I bet it goes horribly, horribly wrong, but we'll give this a shot, okay? So, oh man, I feel guilty now. Been building on this all week. Table's a mess. Oh well, we'll get there. Okay. Mate, it's 2020. Everybody needs a haircut. And guess what? The good news is tomorrow we can finally get them in this state. Oh, yeah, I've been missing it. Yeah. Hating this hair. One of the worst things about lockdown life. Yeah, so that's my ceiling there. But here we have, hopefully this works. Is it working? Yes, working. This, last week we built a cyberpunk city. And I just kind of... let's see if I can get more down this cord. Amazingly wonderful technical setup. Can you tell? All right, let's see if we can get in here and get a closer look at the cyberpunk city that we started building last week. There is still a lot left to be done on this. But one of the cool things I do want to share is, and let's hope it all works. Oh, it might be a bit fragile. Lights up too. It's a little tricky to see the lights in this lighting, but it means that once I've put lids and roofs and rear walls on, those little interiors won't be entirely lost, and you'll be able to make out those little details there. Oh, what do you guys think? Greetings, King Zuvi and Okami. How you guys doing? Anyway, that's the cyberpunk city in progress there. Watch the technical difficulties happen again as I try to put this back in place. So we can start what we're going to do this week. No, it's not Orange Spaceman. But I do have Orange Spaceman, and they help me check that everything is working right. We'll find out. I am so excited for these Orange Spacemen. Orange Spacemen, check them out. I am loving these little guys. Lug Bulk has arrived here. It will be a while before we sort it, but I took it upon myself to sort some of it. And we have little Orange Spacemen, and they're gorgeous. Hello, Lulhoo. How you doing? Anyway, this week, in the spirit of Halloween, I wanted to get hands-on with one of the hidden side sets. Probably get distracted along the way. I've got a bit of a plan that started a while back to make a haunted house, a ghost train ride. And I was going to do this with the recently released haunted house, but I think this one's better for it. Because this is one of those sets that is definitely a play set. It's not a set released for AFOLs. And I love Halloween. I do. It's my favourite time of year. I love the spoopy spirit of it. And spoopy's kind of distinct from spooky. Like, they're not the same thing. I'm not a fan of scary movies, especially in 2020. I mean, we're just one bad day away from an orange Dorito, mistyping as he orders his morning coffee, and all of a sudden, bam! We're going to be living in the Fallout universe, right? I'm not down with that. I like my entertainment to be light and fluffy and whimsical, and that's spoopy, right? Like, I'm an ex-goth. I love my vampires. I love my werewolves. You know, I love spoopy things, you know? As long as my vampires don't sparkle, I'm just going to put that one out there too. Anyway, opening it up here. We've got lots of numbered bags. Many, many lots. Yeah, that's an official number now. Many, many lots. Ooh. Some of the steps bags are over multiple bags, so that's something to be aware of here. We've got some cool large parts here. We've got these large windscreens. I need more of those conical roofs, though, those half-cone roofs. Alright, bag number 1. And looks like it's 7 bag steps in total, but we've got 2 numbered number 2, so... Oh, actually, and 2 numbered number 3 as well. You know, just to keep you on your toes. And many, many stickers. Don't know about these stickers. But these ones, looking from the box art, are meant to go on the windows. I quite like those, so I probably will use those for the haunted house that I'm going to build. Maybe the broken girders too. I'm not sure about those. Some other advertising paraphernalia. Orange Spaceman did not come in this set. Let's crack open the instructions and see what we have. Was that this set, Okami, or the official, let's say the adult version of the haunted house? Because this set, the Hidden Side set, not too hard to find. The AFOL, whatever it's called, you know, they've renamed it, got a beautiful new black box art. It probably says something about how I roll that I can't give you the exact name of what they renamed the series, but I can describe the box art. Very nice, simple black aesthetic that they've gone and they're going to continue to use for many of the adult licensed stuff. And yes, coming down the pipe, I believe we are getting even more adult-oriented content like we saw this year with the Lego mosaic art walls, whatever you want to call them, but they certainly weren't aimed at kids. They were aimed at the adult geek. And we've had quite a few sets actually this year aimed at the adult geek. Buildable sculptures, the like. The Mickey and Minnie set. Built that here on this show. How could I forget that? It was like weeks ago. 2020 life, right? Like in 2020 years, that's like decades ago. Very easy to forget these things. Anyway, bags. That's empty. This one is not. Don't want to throw that on my shoulder while it's got pieces in it. And more. Here we go. Ooh. Cool. Let's build some hidden side spoopiness. Alrighty. What I've got here. Figuring stuff out. Pretty humble beginnings, but these new little, quite sure what to call them, 1 by 1 play or tile stud. I don't know, but they're little pyramid shape, right? They are absolutely just murder weapons intended for naughty parents, with that big sharp point on the top. There is also the new cactus part, so, you know, you just combine these with the cactuses, and that's your instant keep the parents out of your room kind of deal. I'm assuming that was the intent all along. I don't know. And here we have... I can't remember what the names of the characters, the hidden side characters are. I think this is Jack. I don't know. I'm not sure I want to be quoted on that. Yes, definitely. Bit of foot trauma incoming with these little parts. And we get a whole pile of them here too. I'm loving these shapes. They give you extra options in terms of, water. Water detailing is... It's a tricky thing to do, especially to get kind of a natural look. So I really like the idea of layered tile and layered transparts over a different coloured plate underneath. It's similar to what we saw in the official Ninjago City, and it's similar to what you saw me doing with the Cyberpunk City last week. But if you break it up with the occasional stud here and there, or the cheese slope, or these little guys, the pointy ones, you get a really kind of interesting texture going over the surface. So let's see if we can get that in a little closer for our build. Alright, and yes, enough talking, more moving of the hands. Let's make some building happen here. So yeah, how's everybody been? How's your week treating you? For Ukami, did you hear? We're allowed to leave our houses. I can finally get you your bricks. Alright. Now this is an interesting little set. It's very definitely in the playset kind of territory, but there are also a few interesting details with it that I'm looking forward to exploring, actually. Oh. Wouldn't be doing this if I didn't enjoy building Lego, right? It's really just an excuse to build Lego and build Lego. It's nice, actually. I hadn't been getting back into the studio as much as I should be. Like I hadn't done a lot of building this year, and so just doing this kind of, you know, okay, fine, I'll schedule a time and I'll do it in front of the world, and if I don't turn up, there'll be repercussions, even if it's just two people saying, "Oh, you naughty boy." But it's helped. It's helped me get back in the spirit, and certainly it's very good for the soul. Good for the soul is the building. Am I talking too much? Probably. It's a thing I do, right? I do not feel guilty. Probably should, but I won't. Oh, I signed up for Twitter today. Twitter is a weird thing. Who are there's and okay, there's not many of you right now, but Twitter tips. Like I'm new to Twitter. I know I'm probably a decade late. What do you think about Twitter? What's the advice? What do I need to know? How should I be using it? Should I be using it to create, to share my random thoughts on Demolition Man? I mean, I watched that a few weeks ago, and that's really kind of what got me thinking. I mean, Demolition Man is such a cheesy movie. But at the time, I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing has become like gone from cheese territory to just modern miracle territory. Yeah, like what changed with this show? And then, you know, today I go shopping, my local supermarket, and it turns out that, I'm just guessing, they have a staff policy to wear their masks as chin straps. Like, if I can see your lower lip, you're not wearing that mask correctly, you know? It's bad fashion. You shouldn't be doing that. You know, wear it properly. Public safety is important. Yeah. Yeah, it was, I finally bit the bullet, made it happen. Didn't get any ushies. That's okay. I'm not gonna... No ushi is worth dying for. Not shopping in that store again. Such lax standards of public safety. It's inappropriate. Inappropriate, I don't. And here I am, just streamer consciousnessing. So, yeah, if you're here in the chat, please say hello. Join in. One of these days I've got to figure out how to actually invite people in to talk. It does require certain restrictions in this city to be used, but we'll get there, I'm sure. Alright. So, taking shape. Yeah, still too much talking. I probably should stop that. Nice, interesting little shape taking place here. Guess it's for the monster face that we have on the bottom layer at the rear. Oh my gosh. It's also a slow build. Like I'm spending more time turning pages than I am putting parts down. More parts per page, please. Oh this is what we have so far. Halfway through bag 1. Definitely spending too much time gas bagging. Gas bag, gas bag, gas bag. Doesn't even rhyme. You can't just rhyme the same word with itself. What kind of lax attitude towards performative art is that? Oh, shocking myself. Shocking. Alright, oh. 1 by 1 greys. I need way more of those. Not enough of those in my life. Maybe next year's lug bulk. For those who don't know what lug bulk is, the first rule of lug bulk is you don't talk about lug bulk. But, you know, it's no secret it exists. And it is the #1 reason you should be a member of your local lug. Don't know what a lug is? That's a LEGO users group. Absolutely find out where your local lug is. Get involved with the community. They're an awesome community. Never met a LEGO fan I didn't like. I think I can stay true to that too. Despite what you may have seen on a certain show, it's because he was no LEGO fan. Yeah, ooh, too dark a shade? I don't know. I'm changing topic here. And finding more grey parts. So many grey parts. Oops. I might have needed to put that in first. What have I done here? I've done something wrong. I've done something backwards. Oh my gosh. Silly me. No. That's all good. It is meant to be that way, yes. Too busy stream of consciousness and talking myself. Oh, not exactly myself, but you know. Not the most responsive audience, no. That's okay, that's okay. There's not many of us. I'm not hurt. No, not at all. I should be building faster. Oh my gosh, spring! I hate spring. I'm just going to put that out there. Spring is awful. Like, and I say this as a guy with allergies, you know, so like, that's where I'm coming from here. So much sneezing. Much sneezing. Alright, now we've got to complicate. Give me just a moment, I'm just going to blow my nose. Alrighty. So yeah, not exactly a lot to really write home about in this bag. It's not the most exciting of bags. I do like the print on... I'm going to keep calling him Jack, whether that's his name or not. I don't think he minds. I think he's quite happy to be Jack. As long as I don't call him last name Stone, right? But yeah, we get that cool print on his phone there. There's no real new parts to be spoken of. There's the beautiful little 1 by 1 pyramid parts, as I mentioned. That's about it. Alright. Ooh, it looks like we're setting up for some kind of rubber band, maybe? No, I don't reckon that's going to be it. It's going to be these for a moment, I bet. Gonna leave it for a moment. Alright. So, beautiful little teal 2 by 2 rounds, though. That's kind of cool. Definitely cool. Let's not hedge our bets there. Definitely cool. Loving those. You are meant to be black. Aren't you? Oh. You are meant to be that. And yeah, lots of little tentacle bits. For added spoopiness. Added spoopy fun. And then, when it gets to the eye, they want me to put stickers on it. Otherwise, it's not going to look like an eye, so it might look a little weird. But I'm going to pull this apart anyway, as I said, because I do want to make a haunted ghost train ride out of it. Which, I'm umming and erring on it, because honestly, that's one of those things that's been sitting over there on the messy shelf for a while as an idea. And I'm like, ooh, should I do that idea? You know, should I finally bring it to fruition? And then, of course, they've released the roller coaster track, because one of the big concerns with that, doing such a thing was how to do such a thing. And I had a nice solution worked out that involved turning track. Is that positioned right? I'm just going to assume that's positioned right, and it's meant to go like that. For those at home, like this. Yeah. Alright, that's enough of that silliness. Alright, and pretty much could have just reverse built that because here's the other side now. So yeah, I'm thinking a haunted house, the kind of thing that could fit in the middle of a theme park. I think that's going to be the go for it. So there we go. I need more of these 1x1s with the single stud on side. Do not have enough of those at the moment. Not happy about the requirements for stickers, mind you, but I'll build my bridge. It's okay. It's okay, really. I promise. Line that up. Go. It's a bit of a hefty instruction manual too. Lego is moving towards recycled paper bags as basically environmental responsibility. I don't know what you want to call it. However they PR marketing that stuff, mind you. But yeah, it's. I'm just going to put it out there. These instruction booklets do not need to be so big and thick. Like, yes, it's important that there are instruction booklets. I think it's important that there is a physical element to the set. But too big. Too big. Oops. Did that wrong. You don't need such heft and weight. Like, you know, it's enough to do serious damage to a small child should you drop it on them. Or a baby seal. Let somebody think of the baby seals. Think of the baby seals. Yeah. It's been an odd day. I make no apologies. Alright. Here we go. Coming together. Almost there for this bag. Where do you go? You go there. Not many parts left. I think it's kind of intuitive from this point out. Yep. Totally intuitive from this point out. Where I would have guessed to put them. Woohoo! And that, my folks, is bag one. Which would probably look a little more impressive if I had actually put the eyeball stickers on them. But that's the kind of motion that you'll get. That kind of grabby claw thing. I'm wondering if that's a feature I'm going to keep for my haunted ghost train ride. See, I was going to go there, Akabi. You know, I was like, oh, should I? Yeah. It depends. Is the baby seal the designated driver and therefore expected to party responsibly? Because then absolutely. I'm all in favour of responsible party. Also bag number 2. So we've got a whole bunch of parts here in the bags, plural, numbered number 2. Most of them are large parts though, there's not, it's 1,000 parts total in this set, I believe. Just under. I can't actually 100% remember, to be honest. Our first little weekly... So, the final build opens up, so here we go. Canadian Club on the rocks. You cheeky man. I don't know. Do you enjoy the taste of summer? That's their current marketing campaign, isn't it? Oh. The little one has gotten super psyched about Gruen recently. Wants to watch it on iView. It's become a thing in the house, and I'm encouraging that. Hopefully he's more media literate, savvy, whatever, than his old man. That'd be nice. I don't know. I don't think it's my media literacy that's got me in trouble in life. I do get in a lot of trouble. No regrets. No regrets. That's the thing, The older I get, the more the things I do regret are things and chances I didn't take in life. Even if I find myself having to apologise a lot. Here we go. So this is what is developing here. For what I presume is a side tower, I've only had a cursory look at the box art, so there should be more stickers on the outside of this. We'll hold that up there. That's what the sticker should look like. Which is kind of cool and spooky and a bit creepy. Well, spoopy again. Sticking with that spoopy vibe. Yeah, okay, I love that spoopy vibe, and it's got it, Too many eyeballs, too many on your teeth, but it's all cartoony. And you get the feeling it's probably just got a vegetarian diet. Just making sure the door opens on the right side, because that's always the thing. Here we have a little cage door. I'm loving these parts too. I think they were new for last year, but we hadn't really had those angled kind of doors until that point in time. Yeah, loving that. And this, I believe, is a new part. It's an oddly angled, well, it's 8x4, but the wedge there is on the 3x3 angle. So we've had the 3x3 with that wedge part before, but connected up like that as a whole plate. This might be new. It goes on the top there. Boom. Goes the dynamite. More spoopy stickers expected for this one. This one's not as cool. What's that blue flame doing? It's nothing exciting there. Give me the teeth. Give me the eyeballs. I enjoy teeth and eyeballs. I don't know. Is that weird? That leaves us an opening there at the rear, which is what makes this an interesting set. It's very definitely in the playset category, which means it won't be perfect from all angles. You need to have those little openings for little hands to get in and play with it. Whereas if it had been an adult set, there would have been the expectation of covering it up and making it pleasantly aesthetic from every single angle. Because, aesthetics and functionality, they're not always the same. Just not. I had the other half of you a moment ago. Where are you? Other half of my hinge. Other half of my hinge. Here we go. just going to double check that the door is lined up correctly. Interestingly, because we don't see this often. In the same set, we have the new pearl, and I don't know how well the camera's picking this up, but we've got the classic dark bluish grey there next to the pearl silvered grey. This bag only has the pearl silvered grey, that was left over from the last bag. But for a set to have both colours in it is kind of interesting. It's an interesting choice there. Because, well, it's easy to confuse the parts of those two colours if you're not paying attention. And this side too wants the funny blue flames. You know? It's like they want to make my castle a hot rod castle. Ooh, I got blue flames on the side. That means I go fast. You know, I could actually be down with that. I could easily be turned around on this subject, actually. Blue flames, make my castle go fast. Give me more blue flames. Yeah, I'm with you now. Alright, so turning it around as per the instructions. I'll give you guys a little bit of a peep of what we've got. So that's got that little flex and movement there. Held in place pretty darn well, actually. I quite like that idea. So, to give you an idea, for those who may be seeing this as a technique for the first time, it is slightly offset, but that cut there, that's why that hinge plate below it lines up so well. It lets you do that. That's something you can use in various different builds of your own. Hall of Justice uses something similar for the sewer exit, for those who have seen that. I know you would have seen it more than once, Ukami. I've certainly displayed it enough times. Right, so anyway. Alrighty. What I'm looking forward to is the astronomy tower that this gives us. Because one of the things I had been meaning to do in my ghost train haunted house build, which is half built in one or two boxes around here. I've got to dust them off, actually. But it all started with the little minecart train ideas, the ghost train ideas, and that was one of those things that kind of got picked up by... Like I said, I joined Flickr... I joined Twitter today, and was having a peek around, and one of the first things I did was actually look for my own name. Because it turns out a lot of my content has been reshared by LEGO or various LEGO rebloggers. And I wasn't surprised to see that, honestly. I was expecting to see that. But yes, one of them was indeed the those little ghost trains that I'd built from a while back now. LEGO had reblogged them as part of Halloween last year, the year before, I think it was. That's how old they are. And yeah, I was like, ooh, that reminds me, I need to go dust those off. Well, I'd been thinking about it anyway. But yeah, that gives you an idea of how old they are. And it all started with these little ghost train ideas, and I was like, oh, yeah, how do I get them to turn around? Well, I came up with a clever method that used the 5-wide Technic tread. I think it's 5-wide. That we've seen on a few vehicles now, and was able to support the weight, get everything moving around nicely, and turn corners before going into a long straight. Of course, now we've got roller coaster track. But the trick with that is, how do I get it to keep moving around and then allow for an axle that pushes them around that both shortens and lengthens? So I've got to kind of figure that one out. I think I've got it, though. I think. And then use maybe the roller coaster track as the way to do it, but it will require redesigning part of the little trains, which was part of the whole original idea. So, decisions to be made along the way. I'll figure it out along the way. It'll be easy enough. So, and here we have the little bitty mechanism that'll slot in here, tie together with our... I'm going to make sure it's facing the right way, actually. Goes in there like that. This bit's go on. And now, with an added pull part here, I can go whatever noise a scary castle that's trying to eat you makes. I don't know what kind of noise those kind of castles make. Like that old, was it a Disney or a Pixar? DreamWorks? I don't know. Monster House. Like, I remember seeing that years ago. Great little cartoon? Movie? I don't know. Animated movie? Yes. Hi, Roxo. How you doing, my man? Welcome to my hilarious stream of consciousness today. Is it hilarious? I don't know. A little lacking for feedback here. Might be inappropriate. I don't know. I'm open to feedback. Yeah, I think his stream works too. I'm not sure I want to be quoted on it. Alright, so we're turning it back around. Here we have a little trapdoor that'll be up top as well. Just double checking it's in the right way. Nope, all the way forward. Seems to be falling down a little lower than I'd hope, actually. Might have done something wrong. I don't know. Not like I'm paying a huge amount of attention, but it doesn't seem to be closing quite right. And it probably should, because it is a little close enough. It needs to be just that touch further forward for it. Oh. Yeah, actually, that's all it's going to do. I have done that right, because it doesn't extend any further back than that, so it's only one plate that it's able to go back. But it means it always looks like a slightly open trapdoor. Like an obvious thing that you shouldn't walk on as you walk into the house. And in fact, let's set that up for us. So yeah, trapdoor is closed. Jack comes in. He's got his little mobile phone with his beautiful print. I don't know what his reason is to be there. Maybe he's delivering pizza. And then bam! Ah! He gets eaten by the creature. Ah! You know, and if he'd been looking where he was walking instead of at his phone, he wouldn't have fallen into that deadly trap. Alrighty. Ooh, some beautiful little detailing with the little silvered unicorn horns. That's where we first saw them, as Unikitty horns. So, alright, just checking I haven't missed anything, turning it around. Getting even more spoopy castle action going on the backside now. Where are my parts? Coming together, starting to look like a castle. All we need are monster bad guys. Like this guy, I should show the weird ghost monster that we get in this one. I feel like there should be more going on with him. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that as a figure. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? Yeah, that's our little guy there. Let's see if that one picks it up a little better. That's a trans blackhead, by the way. It's you can see through it. I don't know if the camera's picking it up. Beautiful little print on it. This is a beautifully printed figure. But many of the Hidden Side ghost figures have some serious personality. Like, I think Lego is a little bit of a victim of their own success in that way. They have really started to bring us some gorgeous minifigures over recent years. And so the standard that we've begun to expect from them is a lot higher than it used to be. And this guy, he's not the most impressive hidden side ghost there is. And yet, if he was released even 10 years ago, I would have been gushing about him. So, alright. Clearly not paying enough attention. I knew I forgot something there. And I put our little decorative fences in the wrong spot. Because why would I pay attention? Eep. Them should have been gitted? What? Is that a Kafifi? Gilded? Gelded? Ooh, that might get a little into dark territory. So much beautiful grey in this, though. Oh, glow in the... Yes, I am 100% with you, man. Should have been glow in the dark. Come on, give me more spoopiness action. Nothing says spoopiness with a healthy dose of nostalgia like glow in the dark. Like, did you have those glow in the dark stars on your ceiling when you were a kid? Like, that was such an amazing craze. Amazing might be a little bit ambitious. It might be the wrong word to use in hindsight. But, like, everybody wanted them. Everybody had them. Or some variation. These are the parts I'm absolutely coming back to sticker later. These should have those little ghost stickers on them. I'm not going to do it right now because I want to make sure they are perfectly straight. But these will be the only stickers from the set that I do actually use. Especially the Dark Raven King. A little bit of a Lord of Ring inspired kind of look to that one. You know, the very thorny kind of horn. Alrighty, so continuing to build from the back. We get a lot of these beautiful little quarter rounds here in this set as well. What I'm presuming is the new reddish brown, because they did change the formula for reddish brown. That happened, well, the first sets, I believe the very first set that had that was the Treehouse. The Treehouse also, I believe, had, and I'm not 100% sure I want to be quoted on it, but the leaf parts have changed their recipe too. And there were a lot of leaves in the treehouse. Lots of leaves. We also, and this is the first time I've seen this, I don't know if it's the first time we've gotten it though. That is the new candle part with a blue flame. The candles have been in a lot of sets at this point, but we've previously had that in trans orange, not blue, so yeah, that excites me a little. I'm kind of easy to excite that way. I don't know. It has to be the right kind of little plastic toy. Like, I'm not excited over Ushies. You know? Again, was shopping earlier today. There were absolutely people running up and asking for their Ushies. Some of them hadn't even bought anything. Like I'm just there at the register, and this rando dude comes up and you know, says, "Hi, I was here earlier. Do you have Ushies?" No. They all run out. Which, you know, whatevs. On that note, though, if you are collecting your Ushies, and you've got the Lightning McQueen, the Lightning McQueen comes in a white, which is an odd choice until you put him in the freezer. The fridge will do it too, but whack him in the freezer and he turns red. Like how cool is that? Like I don't know if it's deliberately done or it's just a weird Easter egg or it's the choice of plastic that second-rate China factory that they use and put together. Like, I wouldn't need those things, you know. They might be a little bit weird, but yeah. Lightning McQueen goes from white to red when you put him in the freezer. And we did test this out with a few other Ushies. we've only had that happen to us with Lightning McQueen. Oh yeah, colour change, you know. Like, did you have a hypercolour shirt when you were a kid? Like, I had a couple of hypercolour shirts. Back when I let my parents dress me, because, you know, I would not do that as an adult. And I would not let my own kids wear that stuff. But, you know, yeah. It's, other vaguely horrible trends from the 80s and 90s. Hypercolour. It was a thing. And of course, I grew up and shunned all possible colour. I said, no, I'm a goth now. The only colour I respect is black. Which is quite normal here in Melbourne, you know. Black is kind of the colour of choice in this city. Yoda and Ariel, I have not tried that with them. And we've got the Yoda, not the Ariel. You know, I'd feel bad about being here and talking about little pieces of plastic. You know, like, we're not here to talk about those kind of pieces of plastic. Let's face it, that's exactly what we're doing, right? Exactly what we're doing. And I probably should be building quicker than this. Alright, you guys want to see what it looks like built? You want to hear my unsolicited random thoughts about what it looks like built? Now this is a detail worth pointing out though. I'm liking the shaping here. So we've got, you've probably seen the 2x2 slope curved both ways kind of part. But here they've used it to create a very interesting arch to the side window, for want of a better word. Hang on, I'm missing a bit. Yeah, sorry, I didn't put that down low enough. That's why that's looking a little funny. Alright, let's try that again. So, same kind of shape there. There we go. Yes, Hypercolour did. Yes, there was always those few select people who probably shouldn't wear them. I know what you mean. I meant to have a 1x6 engraved floating around here somewhere. I can't see it right now. I hope it's not important structurally. Probably is, actually. It's meant to close up the gap there, but that's okay. I'm just going to put in the 1x1s. Oh, Ghostman should have had these on his shoulders. How did I miss that? I don't know how I missed that. I hardly paid attention. So there we go. A little cooler with these shoulder pauldrons on. But again, the other hidden side characters just have so much going on with them. They are beautiful little guys. And you've probably noticed that they each come with a little blister pack of various little sparkly, glowy effects. Not glow in the dark, because that would have been way cooler, and apparently they don't do that. I don't know. But cool nonetheless. And it doesn't look like we get that little blister pack of weird ghost effects in this pack. Like, I remember being a kid and playing out Ghostbusters with my Lego. And of course, back then, we didn't have official figures. No. Back in my day, no official figures to play like that. No. Had to make your own. Good thing I couldn't remember the names of the Ghostbusters off the top of my head. And it's not like we had many ways of rewatching back in those days. You either see it on TV or not at all. Tough piggies. Do I have 2 bags for this? I do. I've got a second bag for Now, looking at the floor, this is about halfway through the build right now. Yep, I got half the bags on that side, empty, and half the bags on that side, full. Because now we get the sidekick to Jack, Jill. I don't know what their official names are. She has a double printed head, so that's probably worth sharing. And some, actually, yeah, that is some nice printing on her. Here we go. So here's her rear, including the printing on the jacket, which will totally get hidden in about 5 seconds once I put her hair on. And her front. So, there we go. And because that webcam doesn't seem to want to focus as well as it could. And here she is with her hair. I think she's going to my Cyberpunk City though, looking like that. Might shake up the face. Go. Yeah. Jill. I'm just going to keep calling her Jill. Parker. Okay, so somebody knows. What about the other guy? Is he Jack? Is it Jack? Oh, interesting you mention Lego parts having a glow-in-the-dark effect with under UV light. Because a lot of parts do. It can be a little random. Not all are created equal. And I think it comes down to just variations of the factories they come out of. So Jack and Parker? I'm just going to go with that. I mean, they're my Lego figures. I can make up any story about them I want, right? Nobody can stop me. I don't know. I say that. Like in moments, like the windows could come crashing in as the Lego police come storming in saying, "No! You will call our figures by the right names!" Could happen. Probably not. I am loving Spencer the Ghost Dog. Like that is, yeah, one of my new favourite little... and I can't think how kind of put him into sets, because he's going to look weird in sets, just walking down the street, la-di-da-di-da, past the fire hydrant, la-di-da-di-da, just being taken for a walk. In any regular city build, that will be so out of place. But yeah, Spencer the Ghost Dog, beautiful new part. And I think that might be the side where... I don't think we'll get him in this set. No. We get some more ghosts. There are more ghosts coming, but doesn't look like we get Spencer. Yeah? I guess Spencer... yeah, Spencer doesn't look quite right for, a Zero, does he? So here we get a few nice little details inside our tower. I'll show that to camera in a moment. But we're setting up for, I don't know, maybe a little Fantasia inspired? Haunted mop and bucket? Okay, it's a broom. It's a broom, but I don't know how Mickey stands on brooms. I know he stands on mops. And cloning of mops. Very pro stance for that. Alrighty. Yeah. Just making sure that's in the right spot. Again, we get large gaps at the back, obviously meant as a playset. You get that space and gap in between to kind of play around in there and act out stories. Very important part of... Oh, and we're back to the dark bluish grey 1x1 rounds in this bag. Alrighty. Building. let's what's going to go there? Getting those little rear details added on here. I'm just going to line this up properly so I make sure I've kind of... Yep. There we go. Guess that's... You don't have a lot of clearance here, so I'm wondering what those brackets are going to be for. We will find out together in a moment, I am sure. And I guess most... Well, it's not going to be an exact reverse build, but... Starting out the same on the other side. This section would call for more stickers as well. This time just kind of spooky cracks on the wall. In fact, in this age, and this would have come out, like, been in production long after Stranger Things. I mean, it's a set for this year. Like, you know, or that Doctor Who episode. It's just a generic crack on the wall. But, it could have been, those two did have very distinct shapes. I'm thinking more about the one in Doctor Who, actually. Stranger Things was totally the wrong reference. It would have been interesting to see that little shape. Right. And more little internal details for this one. Well, for this tower. This time it's the sword yard. I'll go in there, but I'm not going to do that because the first time I pick it up, they'll go flying. And I know my little one will be in here and he'll be like, "Hi, Dad, can I have the swords?" I'll be like, "Yes, because you're so cute and adorable." Oh, gets everything he wants out of me, you know. I am totally wrapped around his little finger so badly, so badly. Alright. A bit more of the same on that side, and I assume we're... Well, I shouldn't assume, but I think we're about to see the same basic... Yeah, a lot of this is the same. A lot of this is symmetrical, which is good. It's sensible that way. Very obvious reasons to keep it simple and symmetrical. Alrighty. There we go, and tower on the other side. There is a little bit of a crack forming. I don't know what can be really... Maybe something later will seal those up a little bit. There's... Yeah. A little fragile there. And you can see the interior there. Yeah, little crate just to have swords for when Ghost Man needs to armor up to stalk into battle. I don't know, stalk? Wade? How would a ghost go into battle? Shimmer? Bade into battle? I don't know. For the powers of ghostliness. Building a little... That's the better spot, isn't it? Yes, that's where I should be building for you. Camera number... I don't know. I've got to figure out this setup, actually. There's so many little tech things that I'm probably not doing the best at. Phase into battle. Yeah, I reckon you're right there. I'm going with that. That's it. So yes, when our ghost wants to phase into battle, he's like, yeah. Ah, with added spookiness. And Bane voices. Alright. Interesting, they've laid plate on plate to do this. And not small plate either, large plate. Plate on plate, large-ish plate on plate, tends to pop off. So I'm wondering how secure that will be. I probably won't have it together long enough to find out, to be honest. structure coming in from above that might hold it into place better, though. Oops. Wrong arch. Or the right arch. There we go. Quite a nice little castle. Quite liking how this is all coming together. Give you a good look at it in a moment. Almost there. Cool. And that's our front doorstep spot. There we go. And yeah, that would definitely look a lot more impressive if I had stickered up the glass panes there already. It will happen, just not immediately. Many little parts I never seem to have quite enough of. One by one tiles, especially in dark grey and light grey. And we got a whole bunch here in this thing. So many here. Enough to do stuff with. Alrighty. Come together. It wants me to turn around now, so that's what we've got so far. Probably should wait for a moment to show it all to camera. There would be more stickers for this section. A little hard to make out on the page here, so I bet the camera has an even harder time of it. But they look like mini little paintings. And we get kind of a... Yeah, this is actually worth pointing out. This is 100% worth pointing out. The printed 1x4 tile for the piano keys. Like, cannot get enough of that. I'm loving that. And the keytar. Like, are we going to get a re-release of the keytar with it printed properly? Like, not backwards? It'd be nice. It'd be nice. That's on the right side. Alright. So, making sure everything's kind of in place. Tip-top. Looking good. Put some arches on. Arches here. Arches there. Arches everywhere. Woo. Looking fine. Yep, looking fine. Above and below, is it? Please? Yeah. Alright. Good. A little bit more to go. All the hidden side sets do, of course, come with that little interactive feature. I find it a curious decision for a company that is all about the physical bricks to have decided to go in a very virtual direction with its products. I think it's a bit antithetical to the direction they should be headed in. That's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt, of course. Or two, or three. But this is the little feature that allows that if you've used the app and played the game with the app, which is pretty cool. Just over very quick. It's not a very long or glorious experience. This is the little detail that makes that happen. Those little colour change wheels. Picks up the colour. And then, yeah, tap on the phone until you beat the ghost. Which is, I don't know, things we do on Sundays. There are some interesting, innovative ways we've seen it integrated into different sets too. Again, this would call for more stickers. So many stickers. Too many stickers, one might say. Too many. Just coming together to be a very beautiful castle. Interesting how the instructions line up sometimes as well. That almost looked like it was, well, Euclidean geometry, the kind that Escher would be proud of. Alright, here we go, putting this together. Got the beginnings of our roof. I'm quite liking the shape of the roof. I have more parts left over than I should. I think I've got more parts left over than I should. Ah, yes. Because at some point those should have gone there. When did that appear in the instructions though? Because it wasn't very quick. Here we go. That is what bag 3 gave us. In a moment, I'm assuming there will be bits that make this turn. Give that colour change. We've seen the beginnings of our little roof. Very simple roof technique is that. Yeah, they're the Uruk-hai swords. And we get 2 of them in the set. I haven't seen them in fact, yeah, I think this is the first time I've seen them outside of a Lord of the Rings set. Probably one of those things I don't want to be quoted on, though. Bag 4! Bag 4 has arrived! More beautiful castle magic. And this will complete the roof by the looks of it. Much roof, many roofs. And looks like we get an awesome creepy bad guy. This is a bad guy worth writing home about. Like, check out that awesome, crazy, fishy, whatever tail. Like, I need more of these parts just to experiment with. Like, all the beautiful things that could be. Most of them are probably Krakens. Unleash the Krakens! All these bits, yeah. That's how it looks on the art. Its little horns. So much creepiness happening here. Or spoopiness. Spoopiness. The good kind, not the scary kind. The kind that you can sleep happily after watching. Not the kind we find in 2020 when I'm sure we'll find out like vampires are real, oops, and they've come to take our souls. Yeah, there we go, check that out. So this is the bad guy? I assume he's the bad guy, I mean, you know, it's Jack and Parker have to defeat this guy in some way, because he's up to ghostly no-goodniks, and yeah, that's that sweet, sweet tail thing he's got going on. There we go, put him off to the side. So that'll be one side for our roof. Let's make the other happen right now too. awesome. Other side of the roof. Let's make this rest of this roof happen. Again, such a beautiful, simplistic. It's not a very complicated method of creating it. But you get that beautiful little arch that you get in a lot of these kind of buildings. That's the end effect. That's all it needs to be. No more, no less. Probably could do a little more to close up that gap. Maybe bring that to there and support a little bit more. Maybe connect that using a 1x5 actually, because it's what's stopping it there is the 1x6 that's underneath. But certainly nothing to. It's just such a beautiful way of doing those roofs, you know. I love them. Our Lord and Saviour Cthulhu. Yes, yes. The original grand noodliness. I don't know. Lovecraft horror, not necessarily my theme. Again, I like it on the spooky side. Yeah, this is a nice looking castle. I wasn't expecting to like this one as much. I was expecting to be full of little details I wanted to change. And of course, you know, I'm still going to turn it into a tower to do, like a Frankenstein lab up the top, you know. Intelligence is knowing that Frankenstein wasn't the monster. Wisdom is knowing that Frankenstein was the monster. You know, that kind of thing. Up in the tower. And yeah, just them experimenting with lightning. And I can bring in some extra third-party lights, which, honestly, it's Halloween. I'll probably have ripped them out of our Halloween tour. You know, there's lots of kind of Halloween things on shelves at the moment. It's a great time to pick up cheap lights. One of the best times of the year to find cheap lights. The other one being Christmas, but not before Christmas. You got to kind of hit the stores just after Christmas, and you find a lot of really cool lights, like the Cyberpunk City that's evolving down there. That's it. It was the lights in that are provided by a $2 AA battery powered string lights, and it's nothing more complicated than that. Over here. And see, this is always one of the beautiful things about sets that take that playset approach. Well, yeah, like, you do. Like, Christmas is full of potentially stuff you don't particularly want. I mean, like, that's kind of the spirit of the season, isn't it? You know, disposable stuff that we get excited about because it's Christmas. But if we thought about it, we probably wouldn't want it all year round. Like Christmas carols. There's never in the history of anything been a good Christmas carol. If there was, we'd be singing them all year. But we don't, because Christmas carols suck. Putting it out there, just telling it like it is, you know. But yeah, it's simple things like lights, especially to be able to use in Lego models or similar. It is a great time of year to find really cheap, really simple little LEDs, especially in the after Christmas sales, to use in your mocks or your models or whatever. I bet the diorama kids do the same, you know. I don't know many people who make dioramas. Do the train guys count? I know a few. Here we have a very simple little throne. It uses the skeleton legs there on the side to kind of give it, like, there's not a lot going on there. It's very few parts to create that, and yet at the same time it's very beautiful. It's that spirit of the set, you know, the playset idea of doing a lot with very little. So there's what it looks like there at the rear. So we have a little throne for our bad guy prince. In fact, I'm going to put him in there right now. Come on, bad guy prince. You need to get out of your swirly power, kung fu, typhoon, whatever it is. I don't know. Super Saiyan bits. I'm just saying random words. There we go. There he is. Got his little piano next to him for all his accordion nightmares. Is that the right word? Accordion nightmares? And the kind of little feature that I bet the little one is going to charge in here and is going to totally rip off me as quick as he can, because that's how he rolls. And be like, oh, I need that for my gem saw. Salty Cell. I don't know how he'd feel if I started telling everybody about the stories that happen in his Lego City, but he does have some really cool stories that happen in his Lego City. And yeah, Salty Cell that sells things. He's the one who owns a store. I don't know how deep the story goes. Doesn't have to be deep. But that's part of the story for his city. And yes, here we have this new beautiful... I'm not even sure what to call this part. Haven't seen a lot of them. I'm hoping it appears on next year's Lug Bolt, because that's definitely one of those parts I want in quantity. The diamond shape. There's so many beautiful uses I can imagine for that. It's, don't get it. There was a little bit more actually on the other side of our little gem display there. There we go. That slots on there. Until it gets stolen by little Junior, Frost Junior, coming in saying, hey, Dad, that's mine now. And I will totally let him too. I will. I've got to start raiding keys. But he's got a cool Lego City. I should make more of his Lego City my Lego City. Woo-ha-ha-ha. Take over the world that way. Yeah. So now tower's going up on that side. Yeah, I've got to figure out better camera setups for this. I don't know. I don't know. So, to the Brains Trust, what do you guys reckon? What do you reckon would work better? What do you recommend? So I want to keep this going. I enjoy this. Probably could be edited down a little. I mean, I do ramble a little bit. That's on me. But, you know, the exciting bits. I mean, I acknowledge that watching me build is kind of fun for people. I understand it. Sort of. Little introverted me. Lego Masters is mine this week, and I'm not quite sure why. So, maybe it's because... Well, actually, no. There's another, totally unrelated to LEGO Masters, project that is taking shape this week. I should not talk about it yet, but it'll be so cool when you do get to see it. And like I said, nothing at all to do with TV. Heck, barely to do with LEGO. Oh, kind of is. It's more photography based, but I'm going to change the subject before I get myself in trouble by saying too much. So here we have Castle Tower number 1, the less important tower. Like over there, according to the box art, we're going to build a really cool astronomy tower. This is a little less exciting. It's just functional. And don't get me wrong, it's still important that we have those kind of basic, simple spots. Because things become awesome because of that kind of contrast you create between them. As I was saying earlier, this little dude here, he'd be a really cool minifigure 10 years ago, But without him existing in his kind of shape, the other hidden side ghost characters would not be nearly as exciting. You need to create that benchmark to kind of juxtapose things against. Is that the word I'm looking for? I'm just going to assume it is. Say it anyway. Juxtapose. Juxtapose. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Alright, time to use, and yeah, we have. It's making me want to pick up a second one of these sets. I love these little, one of those big parts, mind you, but, roof is coming together here. I feel like there should be more happening there with it though, mind you. We do have the... So there it is, the camera. Put on the last few parts for this section. This would have me put on more stickers. No. No stickers. No stickers. And too many parts left over. Why do I have that many parts left over? I should not have that many parts left over. Is it because it's there? Oh, that's an interesting gap that creates though. Now I'm down to the right number of spares. Okay, I can work with this now. Alright. There we go. So we have that beautiful little roof. It does have some odd angles with if you turn it. It wouldn't be too hard to fix that though, and I think that's something I might... Because I think that's the technique I'm going to use for my haunted house. But certainly the tower is going to use a few of these, and I like that idea of that smaller tower jutting off to the side. And yeah, the method of offsetting the windows here is just very simple. Again, not a lot done with very few parts. That's what I'm loving about this set. Loving it. Alright, bag number 5. Homeward stretch now. More ghostly spirits. This is... I don't know what it is about the app, but I've only played a little bit. The little one got a little bit more mileage out of me, but of course he doesn't have his own phone, so he needs to play with mine. And that means I've gotten to see him as he plays it. And a lot of the ghosts in the game are kind of reskins, mind you. But this particular colour palette, because you get your... I think it's yellow, red, and purple monsters? I think it's the same, actually, as the colours here. The yellow, cyan, and magenta. But you get 3 ghost types. And this guy, in the purple... In fact, I'm going to show his head separately. There's his head. So that's a beautiful little mask. He's got a big smile under there, but I'm about to cover that with a bandana. Because, of course, it is 2020, and if you're going to spook, spook safely, spook responsibly, mask up. And this guy has certainly taken that advice. Get a spare. There is a spare little mask here in the set. That's a trans purple head that is printed on. There we go. And yeah, I don't know how many times in the game we fought this guy, but at least as many as we fought any of the other ghosts. Every time we scan and find the guy in one of these sets, it's this guy. Well, I say every time, but it's really only like 50%, which is still at least 49% more often than he probably should be appearing. Alright, continuing with the building. 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 Here we go. more little creepy features. We get a lot of little teeth and the wriggly, teeny black. Oh, I'm going to call them tentacles in this one. And yeah, again the 1x1 black with stud on one side. I do not. They're one of those parts I'm chasing endlessly, so I'm thinking I need a second one of this set. Don't tell the partner, she'll be like, no, you can't do that. And I'll be like, yeah, no, she makes the decisions in this family. I acknowledge her. She's the boss. Curious little detail we're pulling together here. See, because trans blue 1x2s, they're another one of those parts I don't get enough of. And there's a whole bunch of them here. 6, 7? Well, hopefully it'll make it a little easier to find them on Bricklink next time I do put an order in. So, you know, sometime this week. Shh, don't tell the missus. She totes knows. She totes knows. Alright. Not looking like much yet. I don't know what this is kind of meant to be. It's got those extra spoopy features, but like, is this the whole castle just occasionally growing mouth and teeth and bits? I guess it would fit with the vibe, wouldn't it? It would totally make sense. Right. So many tentacle bits. Definitely one of those things that works though in a set like this, right? More spoopiness. More! Interesting use of the A-frame part. I should point that out too. The way that's laying on. Little A-frame part. Fixed angle there. Alrighty. Black 1x3. That I'm looking at? Yeah, of course. See, the black bits always just blend into the background. What's your favourite girl noise? It's a little hard to tell on this format. You know, I can't hear your voices. You guys can hear mine, obviously. Don't know if this format would work if I could hear all the voices back. I don't know. Maybe? How does Twitch get around that? Can Twitch get around that? Or is it just an OnlyFans thing? And you know what? I go down that path, I'm getting myself in trouble again. I'm not doing that. Right, yeah. Still not quite sure what this is. Like, there's a lot of parts being used. Like, a lot of the rest of the set is very little to do a lot. And here it feels like I'm using a lot of parts to create, I'm not quite sure what. Feels a little crowded, honestly. Might be towards the front of the fence. Oh, the comparisons to Monster Fighters. It's hard to talk about this set without comparing it to Monster Fighters. I think that is, as a theme, got a lot of love. A lot. Right, yep, I have put you too far forward. Yeah, that angle's better. Yeah, it definitely draws a lot of inspiration from those Monster Fighter sets. The Haunted Castle that came in that range. I loved that haunted castle that came in that range. I love a lot of Lego sets. Who am I kidding? Got a lot of love to give. Yeah, again, it feels a bit busy. This section. Does it need to be so high on the part count? Little creepy monster bitty bits that we're bringing together in this section. It does give it kind of a staggered kind of relief. But kind of thing I'd personally do for a rock wall in my own build, for instance. You should not be that, right? You should be, yes, there we go. Did we drop out for a moment? I changed the latency, playing around with the settings. I'm hoping that stopped biting me in the butt now. Ah, yeah, the Monster Fighters range, it really embodied that beautiful spoopiness that I'm talking about, you know. It's the perfect Halloween fare. And it's so right for, like, where do you take it next? You know, the imagination. Jumping off point to do amazing things with. And we got some really beautiful quality man-bats and Frankies and werewolf figures in that range. This set doesn't have any of the classic monster tropes in it. Or range, rather. The hidden side as a range. But that's okay. We've gotten them through other means recently. Like they've appeared in CMF sets. I do like my... you know, I've now got a range of Frankensteins to choose from when I build this larger into a Frankie kind of styled castle. Alright, almost done on this section. Again, I feel like I've done a lot of building to not achieve nearly enough. It's, whatever it's going to end up being. Complete with weird tongue? I don't know, here's how it's kind of looking. This is what I mean about there's a lot of stuff going on to achieve. I'm not 100% sure what. That's what it looks like from the inside. Just eyes and teeth and tentacles, and I can kind of roll with that. It is kind of a bit scary. Yeah, you're right, man. Igor! We totally need more Igors. Igors? What is the proper Pratchett pronunciation? I believe it's a thing in Pratchett, but I'm not 100% sure he even makes it explicit. He just makes jokes about it without letting the viewer or reader know how it should be pronounced. Igor. No. Igor. Igor? I said Igor. Yes. I think I'm saying the same thing. No, you're not. Igor. Well, yeah, it's... But we haven't had a lot of Igors or Quasimodos or Igors. like I was just saying, I've got like a gazillion vampires, right? Like so many vampires to choose from. I've got more than enough Frankensteins. I've even got a fairly good range of werewolves, which is kind of cool and all that. But like eagle, no, don't have quite the same variety of that. I kind of have to pick and choose who that is. Maybe cludge something together. I don't know. Alright. This section is coming together finally. Then we've got 2 bags left. Probably should build a little quicker. Mrs. is making a beautiful chicken risotto in the other room. I'm like, oh, I've got to go get some of that action. So, I can smell it. It smells so good. That's what I'm enjoying. Like, sure, being here in lockdown and COVID life, not great on many levels. I do miss being able to go out for dinner and a movie. Like, I love going out for dinner. I love good food. But what it means is, if I want that good food, I've got to make it at home. And it's giving me a chance to really return to the kitchen and just explore and get in there and do amazing things with food. I feel like I haven't done that in long enough. I feel like I've got too many parts again, but that's a feeling I constantly wrestle with. Alright, there we go. Yep, that's this section. So I'll show that camera there. Yeah, I've definitely got to figure out this camera stuff. Figure out ways to make that work a little neater and better. Flick between them too. But that, theoretically, goes here. Just press down like so. And that takes away that little opening gap I was talking about earlier. It also means it'll probably fall off as a discrete chunk pretty easily. But there we go. And it does, of course, open up there. So, yeah, I like that little look you get behind there. Very simple angled ladder. Little bit of visual noise, but at the same time I quite that sense of eyeballs. My own haunted house mock. I've kind of got to get that rolling now. I say that every Halloween, and then I dust it off and I pull it out, and I pull it apart, and I put it back together. And it's been a while since I ended up with a completed section for it. I figured just the tower though. If I started with one of these for a base, I can make sure that for the larger mock that space is accounted for and provided for. And just go up and spread out. Ooh, we get another one of our creepy Uruk-hai ghost monsters in this pack. I've got to call them Uruk-hai monsters because, you know, they're carrying around the sword of an Uruk-hai. The only remnant of life. A reminder of their past life. As they rise from the grave to phase upon their enemies. That phase is the word we agreed on, right? That's how they go into battle. There we go. Alrighty, yeah. Exactly the same as the other dude. Different bag, same guy. With Uruk-hai monster goodness happening there. Woo! Alrighty. So more bits to finish out this side. And then we've got another bit to go. Oh, this will be the rest of the tower. Of course. Of course. quite like. Very simple. They've used the, again, a little, going a long way again in this set. That goes... Oh, yep, there. Sliding in properly, yep. Looking good. Got our little... Just realised the camera could not see that. Gotta figure out a different angle. Different stands. That's probably the trick. Maybe I'll just have to close something with gaffer tape and broomsticks. I don't... Bunnings is closed, of course, though. Probably able to click and collect. Yeah. For all my gaffer tape and broomstick needs... I miss the days of just having a midnight urge for gaffer tape and broomsticks. Just being able to duck down and pick up everything I needed. Of course, I'm not quite sure when the last time I had a sudden midnight urge for gaffer tape and broomsticks. But if I had the ability to do that, okay? Right, so... Beginning of our little tower wall. Yep, there we go. Yeah, I definitely gotta angle this camera differently. Figure it out a little better. Get in maybe that view. If I stretch it far enough around, I can get it stretched in and looking there. That might be the way to do this. Over the shoulder cam. And better sound. I want like a little headset I can wear. That can be done, right? That can't be that hard. I don't know, can it? Because, yeah, like, my view here is a little bit better than that view. And I feel bad about that. Like that, this is what I want to deliver, I guess. So, definitely. Things for next time? Future me will remember? Hopefully. Of course, then I need to collect something together, make sure everything fits, and then extends long enough. I'll figure it out. I'm a clever guy. Some days. Clever, not wise. Alright, more little interior details, and once I'm done with the bag, I'll hold it up and you'll get to see. But again, we've got the open back to the tower, letting those little hands get in there to do whatever little hands want to do for their play experience, create their stories, have their little moments. You don't get a lot of room in what is essentially a 6x6 space in there, or near enough. But we've got a little tower with a glass and a bottle, just in case that our ghosts get thirsty while they're doing their ghostly deeds. Whatever those ghostly deeds happen to be. Probably polishing their Uruk-hai swords, ready for battle. And the whims of their master. And the more I think about it, that reference to Lord of the Rings there with the, you know, definitely inspired by it the more I look at that. Or maybe, you know, they were a Game of Thrones fan and the White King? I can't remember what it was called in Game of Thrones. Like most people, I think maybe I'm trying to block parts of that out of my mind. Season 8. I'm talking about Season 8. We're trying to figure it out. I need another window. I can't see another window. There it is. Taking shape without... It's quite nice from this. See, this thing, I need to get a camera in, and then I can take it off at a stand and move it about. And technicality, and, things I'm going to have to figure out. Awesome, coming together, looking beautiful. this is a nice little detail. Little hanging chain from the ceiling. Every spooky castle needs that, right? Why is there a hanging chain? I don't know. Maybe I need to suddenly move a body. I can only assume that is what our Igors are doing in their time off. Using them as a means of perfecting their amazing medical knowledge. One can only presume this is the case. I don't know many Igors. I'm sure they're awesome. To the last. We need more of them, okay? I'm just, again, coming back to that. We need more of them in Lego form. The hunch might be a little tricky to kind of replicate. But we've had some very nice new molds and parts for instance, the previous Monster Fighter range gave us those interesting little bionic bits. We had every character seemed to have some kind of battle damage that they were carrying through life, whether it was via missing limb, like robot arms, or that little robot leg that one of the dudes had. We got some great parts that way. So yeah. Not quite sure how you would do the Hunchback Lego thing. You'd probably just have to move the neck joint. Smarter minds like the mine need to be put to solving this issue. Actually, I'd perfectly be prepared to help. I've recently learned how to use 3D modelling software. I'm not going to profess to be very good with it, but I love a new challenge. I love learning something new, and that's one of the things I've been doing recently. A little bit of Blender action. I've got to get better at it. Awesome. Our tower here is coming together pretty close to the finish of our castle. This would have me sticker again to put interesting little control panels in our tip-top monster lair. Things that are worth playing. Again, cool parts that I do not have enough of. This isn't exactly a new part. I think it's 2 years old. But we get a whole bunch of these in here in this set too. I mention this because this is one of those parts I was recently looking for the portal cube that's over there in abundance. And yeah, getting them in abundance was tricky. More than one seller was needed on the old Bricklink. And more grey jumper plates. Again, just greys in general, I guess. I think I speak for a lot of Lego fans. That's one of those colours we just do not get enough of. Right, and this goes on the top of our tower, and I'm just making sure. There we go. So that's kind of. You can imagine that, especially with the stickers there, that somebody's meant to stand here and do secret science experiments in their astronomy tower late at night. Because that's what bad guys do, I guess. Bad guy's named Frankenstein. Frankenstein was the monster all along. Alright. Wants me to push the rod way down. I could lose that down there. Alright. Give me an idea of exactly how deep. And why? Why does it need the extra structure of that? Like a bar piece that's just gone through multiple little bits. I guess it does give it the extra structure, but it's a little fragile. I don't know if that as a structure needs it. This is our little telescope though that we're making. And just put that on there. There we go. Little telescope. I'll take that off and cradle in a moment. Try look at it that way. So I guess yeah, that is getting moved and wobbled a lot. We wouldn't want it breaking, so having the bar piece down the middle does make sense. Now, I'm not stickering up these. Again, the set would have me do that just for the windows here. I don't think it's necessary, honestly. We're creating a little bubble here at the top. I like the use of the clever math to make them line up this well. Because that does line up just perfectly. And it probably shouldn't. But yeah, they've used some clever methods of offsetting those parts there. So, because it's a total of a brick there, you know, you've got 2 half plates with the brackets, 2 plates, and that lines it up. Yeah. It's good. It's good. Right. And we've got some more bits to go down. Yeah. On the front. Yeah, I'm definitely moving it. Jiggering up this camera setup for next time. That way you'll get to see that side of the room too. That side of the room's a little prettier, I guess, than that side. All the half-done creations over there. Like, I'm looking at a cockatoo right now. So... and just enough little kind of greebling to the call the tops of a castle wall, not the crenellations, because they're the bits that go underneath. The parapets. And as many of the hidden side sets do, we've got little spots to put, designated spots to put our figures, because the app does recognise, it's meant to recognise figures. It doesn't do a very good job of it, as mentioned. It thinks every character's this guy. Alright. Why do I have more of these parts than I should? These should have been used somewhere. Where? I reckon you were there. You were there, weren't you? Yes, you were there. Definitely there. Makes that flush with the... Alright. And there we go. And that is that side of the tower done. This is getting a little tricky to move now. It's getting a little big. We've got our little telescope there at the top. Yeah. Looking good. Looking good. Which brings us to the last bag of the set. Bag number 7. Boom! There we go. Alrighty. Taking my sweet time to get here. Here we are. Last little bit. I like that kind of relaxed building pace. This makes me, it's fun. I know I'm still, there it is. Yes, jumped into my hand. Perfect. The brick gods are with us. Now, I bet this is another crazy busy side for the other section, with more little bits than it needs to give us creepy vibes. And stretch. More tentacles. Oh, his sweet noodliness, giving us more tentacles in this section of the build. Oh, yeah. Cthulhu style, goodness. Feel like I'm missing something here. Might become apparent in a moment. The plot. I'm missing the plot, right? It's out there somewhere. One of these days. I will find you, plot. I will find you. Yeah. He be not right. I'm amusing myself here, right? It's a beautiful set, though. Alright, home stretch of the belt here. And then some beautiful dinner for me. I don't know, what are you guys having for dinner tonight? Yeah, coming up on that time here locally, anyway. What have you been doing for food in these delicate COVID-affected times? Have you rediscovered a love of cooking? Like, I baked my own, well, it kind of turned out like bread. We were going for naan, but it didn't, we don't have a tandoor oven, so that makes that kind of tricky to do in other ways. And so, yeah, we kind of, sort of baked bread. We used a grill, we used a hot plate. Once we kind of tried to get it to rise. Didn't rise too well. That's one of the things we need to figure out to do better next time. Need to play around with the flavours a little, but not too much though as well. Some really beautiful flavours out of it. Came up nice on the grill. A hot plate. It was a hot plate. Alrighty. Pretty similar on the other side. This side seems a little bit simpler in a lot of ways. Or maybe it's just because we already built the other side. I'm just like, well, obviously this bit goes here because that's where it went last time. Hey, Liam, how you doing, my man? How is, I'm presuming you're back at school, my man. How is that treating you? Had a good week? This week I've got the spoopiness of the, I'm not 100% sure what it's called, but the castle set from the Hidden Side range, which is, I believe, the largest Hidden Side set we've gotten. I'm not 100% sure if there's another wave to come either, so probably the largest Hidden Side set we will get. But yeah, just, it's a beautiful set. We'll be kind of taking it apart. This is very definitely in the playset category of sets. And I'm definitely going to pull it apart and do other stuff with it. It's going to be kind of part of a haunted house. Very soon. So, I should start making proper videos of the things I do with them afterwards, showcasing them properly. It's a bit of a small house. I'm not sure. I don't really have enough room to make that work, unfortunately. For a larger stuff, you do need a dedicated space to kind of light it and turn it properly and block out backgrounds and all this. And so the technical issues that come with that. But it's something I definitely need to find a way to set up better here, without taking over too much of the rest of the house. Oh yeah, there's cooking that is just delicious smelling in the other room. Lots of butter involved, I think. Good risotto does use a lot of butter, I guess. That's part of making it work, right? Oils. Well, you don't want an oily risotto, but you need that kind of that flavour there, right? See, now I'm just stringing random words together because I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. Oops. I forgot a part. That's why that's coming apart so easily. You should have been in there, yeah. Awesome, almost done with this set. Not much more to go. Now the gate for this set is positioned on the side. In fact, I'm just going to put these guys in right now because where else could they possibly go? Helps kind of clean up the noise I'm working with. Alright, almost done. Beautiful little set coming together here. Do wonder what those little clips are going to be used for in a moment. Because you know it's something. Yep, still amusing myself here. Yeah, more simple little... And I like that there is a lot of pop and bounce. Like creating that spoopy vibe, having a lot of pop and bounce, and breaking symmetry, basically. There's, obviously constructed structures that no longer have symmetry. It sets off something primal in us. That fear response. And for creating your own mocks, it's one of those easy ways to very quickly make it spoopy. That old, run-down, slightly skewed kind of... because for good architecture, you can take a lot of shortcuts and just really lean into keeping it as rigid and straight and repeat patterns, basically, because most architecture does indeed do that. Here we're getting the reverse, because it's spoopy. And yeah, just that little bop and pop, bop, bounce, whatever you want to refer to it as. It creates that slight unevenness here. Interesting choice of colours underneath. They're using blue... I'm not even sure what you call that half of the bracket. Hinge? Hinge plate. Hinge plate, that's probably it. Which does mean that those little hidden sections of colour, again, it's kind of demanded by the app, I guess. Being a hidden side set. Have I ended up with more spare parts than I should have again? Wouldn't have been a build, Mikhail, if I didn't, right? But I don't think I'm meant to have these spare. I wasn't. They were meant to go there. Awesome. In place now. And that brings us to the end of this set. These guys were meant to be, yep, at the feet. Not as many spare little candle flames as I'd like in the set. And that's just because I want many, many of those candle flames. 5 of them, by the looks of it, 5 of the candle flames in blue in this set. So here we have the completed thing. And I'm going to try and move the camera again to give you the wrap, the final look. See how it goes. Woo! Alright. Just here. Just here. Right. So here we go. Castle time. There, of course, is the cockatoo that I was referring to. So, here we have the castle. Gates. Little blue flames. Now this is in its closed form. It's a little less exciting in the closed form, so let's open it up here. There is a click hinge here. It's okay, a little tricky. That it is a little loose where it connects here, and that's okay, I guess. But yeah, here we have inside. Now we've got this view. Here we go. Get those little spots of colour that can be revealed for our hidden side app game. We've got our play feature here of the scary claw mouth thing. And let's demonstrate that. We've got Jack here on his phone, not looking where he's going, hasn't recognised obviously creepy trapdoor space. Don't know if that's working as well as it should. Doesn't seem to want to stand in that spot, but he certainly falls through okay. Got that beautiful roof detailing. For those who are fans of the app, this is how you see the colours when it gets you to choose and spin the colours. And our tower, of course. Cool. And yeah, that's it. Shot of roof. I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I'm going to wrap it up there, guys, because that's not going back into this holder properly. To camera. Thanks for joining me. I hope you loved the build. Haven't done much exciting with it, but I will next time, or soon. I don't know if I've really got an amazing amount of time to do much with it this week because of that special secret project that'll mean me to do a lot of stuff at my laptop. Yeah, thanks for joining me. Well, I'll be back again next week. I'm not sure what. I'll open up the rainy day cupboard and find something. Maybe, if I get time, I will try and structure something. I might do the whole tower build together. You know, give me an excuse to kind of break into those containers on the wall. Or maybe Daily Bugle here. Daily Bugle needs an extension. That's why that's out here. I'm going to put a subway level underneath it, which will boost it up another foot. So you can kind of get a sense of how tall it is at the moment. That's 1.5 metres to the top of the tower there. And I feel like the tower cheats the height. I want it to be at least that tall without the tower. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. Thank Liam, Roxo, Akami, if you're still here. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. And same time, about time next week. And talk to you soon. See you soon. Cheers, guys. Stay awesome. Stay safe.